Hello everyone, myself Dr. Radhika Mehta, Associate Professor from Jagannath University, Jaipur. Let's start a new topic. The topic for today is news reporting. So, when we talk about the term news reporting, it refers to the process of gathering, investigating, and presenting information about current events, issues, or topics of and to the public. News reporters are also known as journalists or correspondents, and they play a vital role in delivering timely, accurate, and objective news to their audiences through various media platforms such as newspapers, television, radio, and online outlets. Reporting involves researching and presenting information to newspapers and other mass media. Reporters gather their information in a variety of ways, including tips, press releases, and witnessing an event. They perform research through interviews, public records, and other sources. Most reporters are assigned an area to focus on called a beat or patch. They are encouraged to cultivate sources so they will not miss news. Reporters usually have a college degree. Basically, when you look at a profession of a reporter, there is no hard and fast rule that you need to have a degree. But sometimes, if even if you have a degree of journalism, then it helps us in a better understanding while reporting the news. Hiring reporters, editors give much weight to the reporter's previous work, such as newspaper clippings and even when written for student newspaper as a part of internship. News reporting is challenging but interesting. Media companies hire fresh journalism students on probation as trainee reporters. Generally, in the first few months, the trainees are asked to cover different events. Sometimes they are also asked to report on developments in several government departments. After the completion of probation period, reporters are assigned separate news beats. While assigning beats, interests and knowledge of a particular area of a reporter is also taken into consideration. In some small media companies, however, a reporter often has to cover multiple news beats. You may be wondering now as to what is the meaning of news beat. In simple words, it is continuing assignment a reporter has to undertake. It may be related to a particular government department, a particular area of interest like sports, education, local municipality, crime, health, etc. Now let's take a look on reporting for various beats. The very first one is city reporting. City reporting assignments include coverage of all important events happening in the city. It could be a political rally, an accident, a crime incident, a book launch, a seminar, a cultural program, a disease outbreak, etc. For the starters, city reporting may seem hectic, but As you grow in the profession, you may start enjoying it. People are always interested in knowing what is happening in their surroundings. While they get to know about big national events through news channels and websites, they have to rely on local newspapers or websites for local news. This is the reason why there has been a growth in local editions of newspapers and also some local news websites. Now let's understand crime reporting. Crime news forms an important part of daily news coverage by media. Even as India is one of the fastest growing economy in the world, there is no letdown in the number of crime incidents. Every day, a number of incidents are reported in a city. People want to read about them. While some crimes are about greed, violence, sex, revenge, etc., some reflect important social tensions. For example, attack carried out by illegal cow vigilance on Dalits or an organized attack by a community against other, which often leads to riots. Crime reporting allows you to understand some of the basic techniques of journalism. It helps you learn how to research for a story, how to follow a lead, how to interview people to extract information from them, and how to write your story in a way that will draw the attention of your reader. According to the news manual, all crime stories carry some news values, such as the first one, seriousness. We usually assume that more serious crimes are more newsworthy. A murder is more important than an armed assault, which is more serious than a break and enter, which is more serious than parking offense. In terms of money, a bigger the amount stolen, the more important the crime. Remember, however, that money has a different value to different people. The theft of rupees 10,000 will be more newsworthy when it is taken from a poor widow that when it is stolen from a rich businessman. Next, unusual nature of the crime. The more unusual crimes are generally more newsworthy. A break and enter at a school may be more newsworthy than a breaking at home. The next, identity of the victim or criminal. Crimes become more newsworthy if they involve people who are themselves newsworthy. An ordinary person attacked on the street may not be big news, but if that person is local chief, that will be newsworthy. A fraud case becomes more important when it involves a leading politician. A robbery becomes bigger news when police reveal that the robber was escaped prisoner with convictions for murder and rape. It is generally true that a crime becomes more newsworthy if there is a strong chance of it happening again, usually because the criminal is known and is likely to strike again. Now let's take a look on the next beat. Reporting political parties and politics, covering assembly and parliament. India is a democratic country. Constitution of India allows people the freedom of speech and opinion. In fact, also the freedom to take part in the electoral process. You must have noticed by now that some type of election keeps happening around a year across the country. It could be general elections for the formation of new union government or assembly elections for the formation of governments in states or even elections to the local, municipal and panchayati raj or cooperative bodies. So many elections throughout the year and a robust democracy naturally generate people's interest in politics. People want to know about developments, even controversies and scandals in different parties. No wonder why much of the space in a newspaper caters to political reports. This is true also about web and TV media. However, political reporting is not as easy as interesting it seems while reading. One requires a solid understanding of political realities, constitutions, history of the country, as well as the political parties to become a successful political reporter. Because of the seriousness and knowledge required to political required to cover politics, fresh journalists are hardly asked to cover this beat. Now, political reporting involves the first point, covering political parties and leaders. Second, covering elections, political rallies. Third, covering state assemblies. Fourth, municipal bodies and parliament. The next, covering government actions, structures, and lastly, covering public policy issues. Now let's understand the next type of reporting, legal reporting. With the increasing number of cases in courts and judiciary's increasing interference in matters that should ideally be addressed by the executive, the significance of legal reporting has also increased. If you scan through a newspaper every day, you would find a number of reports of court verdicts, proceedings of a case, condition of a judiciary, legal trends, laws of the country, etc. Legal reporting is often used synonymously with court reporting. However, there is a difference. All legal reports do not necessarily emanate from court, while court judgments cover a major part of legal reports in the media. Sometimes you must have also seen interviews of lawyers retired judges, and reports on speeches by judges in public or court functions. Young journalists who have interest law and legal matters often wonder how to start a career in legal reporting. Here are some pointers which may help you to become a legal reporter. So, if you are looking your career into legal reporter, a degree in law is preferred, but it is not always necessary if you have interest as well understanding of the law of the land. For court reporting, you have to spend your day attending important proceedings of the court and taking notes. In fact, if the courtroom is already packed, you may have to stand through the proceedings. While writing about court proceedings and judgments, you must be careful with the facts and follow court's directions strictly. If a court embargoes a judgment, you can't write about it. If you do so, you may be held for contempt of the court. You need to develop understanding of the law very fast. For unless you understand, you can't write it in the way the readers can understand. Court judgments often run in hundreds of pages. You will have to scan through it quickly and quote significant facts for your story. Now the next one, specialized reporting. That means defense, science and technology, education, art and culture, environment, business, fashion and lifestyle, entertainment and sports. Specialized reporting can be said to be the next level of beat reporting. When you cover a particular beat for a long time, you gain knowledge and familiarity that would help you in providing insight and commentary along with the fact. Specialist reporters, or those who have command over particular areas, always are in demand in the media industry. But to become that requires years of hard work. The best reporters are those who possess in-depth knowledge of specific issues, institution, areas and places. The reporters use their knowledge for crafting special stories that separate a publication from the rest. Let's take a look on the last one. Reporting conflict. It is related to armed and social conflict, region, community and human rights. Several parts of the world, including some in India, are witnessing conflicts. A reporter's job is to provide an unbiased report of the conflict. For this, he or she may have to dig the reasons of the conflict, understand the history, and culture of the region and nature of the conflict. Reporting from conflict affected areas is always dangerous for journalists. But then, journalism is not always a cozy profession. People need to be informed about conflicts. Conflict reporting is considered to be a dangerous enterprise. For the safety of the journalist is always at stake. Sometimes it is difficult to get access to enough facts that will make a story complete. So, when we talk about conflict reporting, it is the most challenging reporting for any journalist or a reporter. But keeping in mind a responsibility of a reporter, which is for the society, and giving them complete as much information about the incident, event, or the issue, which makes a reporter or a journalist strong towards the objective of entering into this profession. So that's all for today. Thank you, everyone.